Alrighty, gentlemen, let's get into it. The Penrite Sandown 500, done and dusted, and yeah, we started in first and you finished first, but it definitely was a whole lot more complicated than that. Will Brown and Scott Pye in the middle. Will, I'll start with you. Congratulations. The 500, it's a big win and a big exclamation point for you guys at this point in the season, I could imagine.
Yeah, it's cool. It's been exciting getting a few wins this year and last year, but nothing's meant more than that win just then. That was really exciting. Obviously, first round of the endurance, but also Sandown 500. As I said earlier, we're not sure how long this event will stick around for, so I really wanted to try win it this year, and that was a cool race. You know, we got a really good start, but then we were to-ing and fro with car 88. They were in front of us, we were in front of them, and so close on that last pit release. But yeah, even the last few laps there, we were doing nearly qualifying pace, and you had to not make a mistake while going as fast as you could. So it was a cool race.
Yeah, and like you said, back and forth through the day, but when it came down to the business end, a couple of safety cars thrown in as well. Have your teammate right on your backside. I mean, how was the mental process for you behind the wheel of having to go hard and having to reset and go again there to get to the checkered flag?
Yeah, at least I knew they'd have to get close to me. I thought he's not going to just door me out of the road, I don't think. So, there was good part there. But it was more the pace we're running and not making a mistake. It's easy to lock a front or do something here. And that was what I was more worried about because, we're running fast pace. It was quite hard to get around. But, yeah, it was really cool those last few laps and it was cooling down and, yeah, it was good.
Talk about the guy who's sitting next to you who drove the car through the middle of the day today. It's been solid all weekend. There's probably no surprises in that. But to win this one together, it's a good way to start off a pretty good partnership.
Yeah, it's awesome for us. Both starting off our partnership this year, but also with Red Bull and Pole, our first Sandown 500 together, and to get the wins, awesome. You know, I didn't really expect anything less from him, to be honest. He last year probably qualified nearly in the top 10 here in main game, so definitely did a fantastic job, and that's why we got Scott, is because we thought he'd be the fastest co-driver out there. So he did a mega job, and you need that these days. The race is so fast and there's so much going on. You need a really fast second driver. So that was cool.
And speaking of the guy, Scott, well done. Top step of the podium. It's got to feel nice to spray that champagne and be the guy again.
Yeah, it's very good. I mean, it was an amazing weekend, and the whole lead-up has just been, something I'm very grateful for. To spend time with a team like Red Bull and Pole Racing is you never stop learning. And even this weekend, even what I learnt through the race, that middle stint was tricky because J-Dub had obviously taken a little bit less fuel and his pace was really good, and I probably burnt the tyre off at passing Cam, and then started to come back a bit, and that safety car come out. But it's tricky, like with the new virtual safety car thing coming in and the countdown timer, I actually got that wrong at the end of that stint. So I was a little annoyed because I'd started to try and bridge the gap back to Jamie, and I gave away a lot there, but I heard the number wrong and I put the limiter on like 5 seconds early. So gave up a lot of time, but luckily the third stint there that I got, we were able to get back in front and then manage the gap and look after the tyres. The car was just, I was stoked the safety car come because I just got to do more laps in that car. It's a very special thing and an amazing opportunity to drive something so good.
Obviously, the main change this year with the primary driver starting the race, I guess you might be used to getting in the middle of the race here, but how did that feel for you getting in the middle of the race and just clicking off laps to set it up for Will to take it home?
Oh, I don't think it felt like we were ticking off laps. I had one of the greatest supercar drivers of all time, I'm racing against, and even that in itself is a very special. It's such a cool feeling to be out there battling with Jamie in a Red Bull car, and it does not feel like we're just taking laps off out there at the moment. The car speed was great, so I didn't need to, we didn't need to push crazy hard or anything. I was able to manage the pace, but I feel like there's so many good co-drivers now, and some of which should probably still be in main game. So, there's no Arvo shift. We're out there trying to contribute to a championship, and also we've got, I only get 2 shots this year to stand on the top step, and I want to do it both times. So, I was super nervous. Like when I handed the car back to Will, I've never been pacing. I think I was the most annoying person in the garage. I was talking to everyone. I didn't have a headset on, so I pestered I actually apologised to Jamie at one point. But it is hard to watch. I wanted to do so well, and it's a fun race. But the competition in the co-drivers is nothing to be laughed at. It's not an Arvo shift. It's tough.
Yeah, absolutely. A great day for the team, and it sort of plays into what I was going to say or speak to next. Some people would have viewed, I guess, over the recent rounds that Triple Eight lost a bit of its momentum. Obviously, a huge exclamation point today. So you speak about how how much work has gone into making sure you guys are on it when it comes to these long distance races here in the back half of the year.
Yeah, I mean, Triple Eight's always had a pretty good run around here at Sandowns, but that's certainly not a given come Gen 3 time. So I think we focus a lot on our processes and getting our pit stops, driver changes, everything that goes on behind the scenes. All the boys and girls back at Triple Eight, not only everyone that's here, but that's back at the workshops, been putting in a lot of work. And, I think Triple Eight always does a good job this time of year when, it's sort of finals footy, you get to your 2 big races. The work that goes on behind the scenes certainly pays off. And, we're the 4 fortunate guys that get to drive these cars on race day like this. But, everyone back home has been putting in a massive effort. We certainly haven't been happy with where we've been recently. So, I think we were pretty quick towards the end of the race. I think we had really fast cars.
It might be a question for the engineers, I guess, back in the bunker. But like we said, seeing the both of you going back and forth, particularly with those safety car periods today, where one driver would come in second, typically ended up benefiting. I guess, was that something you guys forecasted? How did that play out, and how do you guys foresee that from a competitor and an observer's perspective?
Yeah, they sort of said that it would probably be 2 safety car laps. So the first time was pretty scary. Will pitted the first lap, and I'm sitting around, going around behind the safety car, going, please just go over 80 kilometres an hour so I can keep it up. And we come out in the lead, which was, to be honest, a bit of a surprise because I think we only did a second and a half less of fuel. But then later in the race, the same thing happened. They chose a second lap and they come out in front of us. So it's a bit of a new thing that all of us have got to get used to with this virtual safety car. Obviously, there was a lot come the end of the race. I probably wish we just sort of run our stint to the end. I thought we were quite good late in the race, but it is what it is. I think we're just getting used to a new system, so lots of things to sort out.
Very well done. Thank you very much. Looking at Jamie here, I can imagine. I'm curious what your position was there in those last laps. You're in car 88 that's in second place, but you have a 1-2 and, like Brock said, a 5th place finish ended up coming through. What was going between your ears those last couple of safety car restarts?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's a really tricky situation for sure. I've got an 88 cap on, but probably on top of that, I've got my team cap on, and it was really important for us to come 1-2. It's quite an iconic day for us. We've got a 20-year history, but that photo that we took down at the podium, 1-2, and then we come 5th our wildcard entry. That's going to be one of, say, a couple of dozen iconic photos that we're gonna remember our history by. It's huge. We talk about the good old days and the history and whatnot, but we created some history only an hour ago, which is fantastic. So both guys drove extremely well. All 3 drove extremely well. The touchdown at turn 1 was a little bit on the limit for me. We'll definitely chat about that. But how good? I think the full course yellow was a really good contributor. Go back 12 months, there'd be an incident on track, and it was literally a race to get to the pits. So cars were going at their fastest when it was a yellow scenario. So it's probably the best thing that's happened since the hands device, to be able to slow the cars down instantly, to control the race, to make sure that there's no more danger out there, and it allowed the racing to be pure. There wasn't half the cars stacking and getting. There wasn't artificial results out there. It was whoever was the quickest 3 cars got on the podium, which is what you want to see as a racing purist. So it was fantastic. We'll regroup. There's 4 massive events to finish the year off. This is one of 4, so we'll keep our heads down for the next 3.
Very interesting insights there. But you talk about going back to those big moments here. There's been a heap of them that have happened here at Sandown. So just you speak to the success that this team has had at this venue. Obviously yourself as well, but the 9th victory for Triple Eight here at the Sandown 500.
Yeah, no. As I said, we it's part of our history, which is great, and we don't know how long it will continue. So absolutely take everyone you can get.
Excellent. Congratulations to you as well. 3rd place finishers today, James Golding, David Russell. It's probably the most excited group. You talk about these 2 being excited, these 2 groups. The Premier Newlawn team going absolutely nuts down at the podium today. Jimmy, first podium, first time raising a trophy, and the first one for the team. Probably one of the biggest smiles in the paddock here tonight.
I'd say definitely the biggest. But just an awesome feeling, and it's something as a driver, you're building towards your whole career, and Obviously, still got a couple of more steps I want to get soon, but this is another huge step, getting closer, and just means so much to me and all my family, all my backers, and the whole team, all the hard work they've put in to get me to this point. So yeah, just absolutely phenomenal.
Take us through your day, if you could. I mean, it's been the 31 car was definitely going a bit back and forth, but it just so happened to float up to the top right at the time that it mattered. It was a pretty busy day, but obviously a successful one in the end.
Yeah, I think we made a lot of the right decisions this whole weekend. We rolled out and had an ultimate focus on race pace. There wasn't any point where we did any qualifying runs, so didn't quite get the qualifying we wanted, but we knew that we had a pretty strong race car, and that's what we were focused on the whole time, getting to the end of the race with a good car. And D-Russ did an unbelievable job. Good feedback on the car handling. I was a bit iffy on it at the start when the track was pretty green and making a change, and he said, nah, it's coming in good, so we left it how it was. And yeah, it was just awesome when I jumped back in. Just managing the tyres and using the speed I had. A few of the restarts had a little bit of a sniff at the Red Bulls, but not quite. We'll save that for Bathurst.
Very, very good. Speaking of the Red Bulls, though, there are a few guys who have come from this organization that ended up in your program in this team this year. Brock spoke about the process and everything and the protocols the team goes through that he believes linked to the success they've had. Have you seen some of that across this year that's sort of bled into the program at Premier New Line Racing?
Yeah, I think it's everything combined, really. There's people from all different backgrounds in our team, and, at this level, you need every little tiny thing to be spot on, otherwise you're not going to be near the front. It's just way too competitive, and that's probably been our downfall at times this year. We're having little things go wrong, and it's enough to ruin a race or ruin a weekend. And it's been some tough learning, but we've shown glimpses. It's been hard to pick back up after getting close sometimes and then dropping back down again. But yeah, proud of everyone in the whole team for pushing on and working hard to get back to this point.
Well, job well done, and congratulations in order as well to David Russell. Boy, when we get to this time of year, we're getting used to having you in these post-race press conferences. Wow, what a day for you guys and for the team to be back on the podium, or for you to be back on the podium.
Yeah, for sure. So to join a new team that has never had a podium before, and to join Jimmy, who's done such a great job, it's pretty rewarding for me. I did say to the team, leading into this, that if we did everything and ticked all the boxes and did everything perfectly, we'd be on the podium. And I'm glad that we did that today, and that hard work is paying off for the team. And look, very, very, very happy for Peter and Carmen Zibaris, to be able to be in this sport and to be in it for the time that they have, and to get this result. You could see the look and the tears in everyone's eyes down there in the garage, how much it meant to them.
You're a pretty good weather forecaster then, it seems like, at least a race forecaster. But speaking to the race itself, you were involved in a race of it. Well, there's a lot of attrition out on the track throughout the day today. You were a minor victim in one of the incidents earlier on. So tell us from behind the wheel, in your perspective, how the day rolled out for you guys.
Yeah, look, it was pretty good when I hopped in. As you said, there was a bit of an incident. I think what tends to happen when and Jamie made a good point about sort of separating and hitting the pause button on the race. I think when you do get a safety car and it all stacks together, everyone just gets a rush of blood. The green flags are going, and they just sort of forget that the pack has a concertina effect at certain corners. And yeah, we just got a pretty decent whack from behind, pushed us wide, and managed to keep it on. And just I knew that we'd be able to recover, and we had a good car underneath us. And I said to Jimmy gave me feedback on the start of his stint, and then I did the same for him. But the part in the race that when I was in there, the track was coming up, and then the car was getting better, and I was sort of giving that feedback to the team. Said, I'm finding the grip here, and I'm trying to use it as much as I could. Romy did a great job. She was keeping me updated and said, hey, keep going, mate. You're going forward, and it's all looking good. So I need no encouragement to try and do the best I can, but it certainly spurred me on today to for us to try and get a big result for the team.
When the news was announced earlier this year that you were coming over to drive alongside Jimmy, it took some people by surprise. But I would imagine it's a big reward for you to be able to be up here. And like Jimmy said, there's a couple more steps they want to get up on top of the podium at Bathurst.
Yeah, for sure. I think firstly it sort of proves that I don't need to be light in a car to be fast. I think there's a bit of chatter about last year being in a position where I was, had some advantage, but I've sort of put that to rest now, I think. So, yeah, look, it's for us to sort of build, to have this. We actually didn't have a test day before this round, so
I
to have.
don't reckon we should do one for
No,
Bathurst.
bullshit. We'll have one. So it's actually really good for us now because we can go prepare for Bathurst, get a test day in, iron out a lot of things that we've talked about, and really hit those 1%ers and go to Bathurst. I said to the guys early on, I'm feeling a bit underdone with the wet weather and all of the changes, and it was just good in the race to just get cracking because, once I got going there, it started to feel real good and, start, chasing some of those cars in front of us.
Excellent. Job well done. Congratulations as well. We'll open it up to journalists in the room who might have some questions.
Question for Will and Brock. Jamie mentioned the touch between you guys down at turn 1. Could you just talk us through what happened from your perspectives?
Brock just hitting up. I saw Brock came out of the pits and obviously went in fairly hard on cold tyres and pushed a little bit wide, and I also did the same and had the run out, but you don't know how fast you're getting past that person. I thought I was going past fairway trying to get back to the left, and Brock was coming back and we tagged, and obviously we both didn't mean to do it because it was a decent enough hit. I thought I might have a little bit of damage from it and even a flat right rear, so I definitely didn't want that to happen, and it was just really an accident, unfortunate with the way the circumstances came on the exit there. So maybe, like Jamie said, we can look back and think, how could we do things a bit better? We're both young and racing Brock's won a Sandown 500, but I haven't, and we're both really pushing for the championship, so not sure in that moment if we need to be a little bit more cautious. But, it definitely wasn't intentional, but it was nerve-wracking at the time, that's for sure.
And Brock?
Yeah, I think it made it a bit more awkward with the, lap car between us because I've sort of come out on a cold tyre and I can see sort of Will going to the inside and we got a lapper in the middle. I locked a bit of a front on a cold tyre, young bloke cold tyres, and went in a bit hot. And then, as I've just come back on the track, Will was there and, it was way too close. But it's a hard one. I shouldn't have locked a front. I probably shouldn't have gone in as deep, but maybe Will would have got me then. So it's a tough one, but for sure it's not ideal. We don't want to be touching each other. I think we've raced super clean all year. We haven't run into each other at all. So hopefully we can put that one behind us. Don't run into each other again. But trust me, we're doing all we can to not rub each other. But unfortunately, it happened.
No dramas with the steering or anything with your car after that hit?
Nah, initially when I come out, I was a bit worried. I'm sure Will was too because it was a bit of a hit. But no, my car was fine. I think we pitted. Did we pit again after that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had another pit stop after that. But we were fine. So, all good.
Question for James. Heck of a final stint there for you. Talk us through coming out behind Jack LeBrock, running him down, passing him, and then holding off Matt Payne on that last restart.
Once I knew that I was in 4th position, I thought I probably better have a bit of a crack. And obviously that last stint, I knew it was going to be the same length, and I didn't want to abuse the tyre too much, but I didn't want to sit around wondering, so I used whatever I could, and I thought, if it doesn't work out, I don't hold on at the end, and we finished 5th or 6th, and we had to go, and managed to get it done, clean pass, and good racing by Jack as well to keep it clean too. So it was pretty ballsy still, like pretty deep at one there, like we're all sort of on the limit as it is, and lucky to get a clean move done and press on, and I think that also helped me keep that bit of gap to Payne as well.
Cool. Quick question about your co-driver too. Very experienced bloke, been in a lot of good teams recently. Tell me about what he's brought to the team.
Yeah, Dave's been awesome. As soon as we got him on board, I was stoked with it. Obviously, he unfortunately, so we won less than last year for you, mate. But it's just been awesome.
Better at Bathurst, mate.
Working with Dave, he's obviously got heaps of experience, and just every step along the way, it's been good just to have another person and build the experience of the whole team as well, not just a driver for me, but also the whole team. It's been awesome to have him on board. So, yeah, we're still building, and yeah, he's been a crucial part of it.
Quick question for Jamie. You had your elbows out with Todd Hazelwood through your stint. Tell us about that battle.
It was a good battle. I expected a long stint, so I was trying to be the most consistent over the whole stint, where Todd was looking for track position. So yeah, we had a bit of contact. He got through, and then not a good from my view. Just seeing a car just disappear off to the right at turn 6 is not good. I expected to come around the next lap and see him somewhere down on Dandenong Road, but thankfully it wasn't as bad as what it looked from my windscreen, and it wasn't. Yeah, he got it back around. So it's all part of racing. It just reminds you that it's not a we're not having a picnic out there. We're 270k or something down the back straight, and when it goes wrong, it goes horribly wrong. So good reminder.
Will and Scott, congrats on your win today. Scott, for you, is this a bit of a full circle moment for you, considering, I guess, your origins with Triple Eight all those years ago?
No, actually, I feel like it's a reset for me, really. Like, just where I was at the end of last year and how much the last few years had probably almost made me resent going to the track. It was kind of like I was sort of, I don't know, I wanted to get back into a position where I could arrive at a race weekend with an opportunity for success. And, I've said a few times, it is motorsport and there's no guarantees, but this team is so impressive and Will is doing such a good job. Coming here has just refreshed my love of, there's a slab, someone's phone's ringing. But yeah, it's just refreshed my love for the game. And I think, it's nice to be back, and there's there are some familiar faces in the garage, which is very good. I actually bumped into one leaving the workshop the other day with Briggsy, which was good to see him. I haven't seen him in a long time, and I guess that goes to show as well the team and how good it is when people stay for as long as they have. So there's some fantastic crew, and Jamie and the guys there have just done an unbelievable job at finding all these talented people and getting the most out of them. I've said there's good people up and down pit lane, but to put them all together and get the most out of them is very difficult. And then to have continuity year on year is what separates the best teams from the others. I think, it's a breath of fresh air, mate. I just, enjoying going to the track and having these 2 events each year to try and contribute and do the best I can.
And now that you've tasted success, does this influence any thoughts in terms of what you do next year, whether that's co-driving or trying to pursue any full-time opportunities?
No. I've the 11 years, I've seen a lot of different teams and how they operate, and I always said, like, if I was to go back to full time, it would have to be, I've lived without it now is one thing I could say. I've done 12 months, this will be 12 months without it full time, and I survived. It's not like it's going to be the end of me, but if it ever came up and there was an opportunity, it would have to be with the right things in place. There's a lot of homework that I'd be doing to make sure I make the right choice, because I just want to be able to turn up to a race and have a chance of winning, and if that's only 2 weekends a year I believe I can do that, then they're the 2 I'm going to turn up to with Triple Eight. So that is my focus, and it hasn't changed. Winning this weekend hasn't changed. I just like I said, I didn't want to come second, so I've won one and I've got another one to go, and hopefully I'll win a lot more with these guys.
Question for Brock. Race obviously finished a little bit earlier than we all would have liked. Do you feel like you maybe had it in you to hunt down Will at the end?
No, I'll say yes, but probably not. Look, we were going so fast, as I sort of said before. We're doing 108s there. It's pretty hard to pass. We're very early on those tyres. Ideally, I'd probably prefer not so many safety cars towards the end of the race, and we run long and sort of see who's got good tyre life. But I think he had good pace. We both had real fast cars at the end. It's obviously quite difficult to get past. You're racing your teammate as well. We were joking about it before. I said, mate, I wasn't going to lunge at Dandenong Road or something like that. It's a move that you sort of pull out when you really need to get through. But I don't think so if we had another 5 laps, but you never know. On new tyres, we both had heaps of grip. We were just going as fast as we could.
Can I get your thoughts on the full course yellow procedure? There was a bit of chat about how that would play out in the lead up. In reality, what was it like from your perspective?
Yeah, I've run it a bit before in GT racing and that, but I think what Jamie said's the biggest one that everyone's going to forget about. That normally when safety cars come out, and people have called me out before because you're going past, people standing on the side of the road at 250 kilometres an hour. And I once lifted the throttle going past there and someone tried calling me out about it, because I was holding them up. But I think reducing the speed when someone stopped on the side of the track's a great idea. I think today, giving us 2 laps to all pit is a good thing. It helps the racing. I'm just repeating what Jamie said, you can just take his quote. But I thought it worked well today. The only sort of thing is it obviously lengthens it out, and that's probably why our race got cut short. But you can't sort of control those things. So, yeah, I'm all for it.
Jimmy, D-Russ, can you guys give a bit of perspective on that? I think you guys are obviously a little bit further back and there were a lot more cars around you. What was your sort of perspective on the full course yellow?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. Obviously, safety is paramount motorsport. There's always that risk there. So as soon as we can reduce that, it's a good thing. And, yeah, I pretty much agree with what they've said.
Yeah. Pretty much the same with if you got officials, you got people out on the track, and as Brock said, there's plenty. It's not just in supercars; it's in motorsport in general. You might be at the Bathurst 12 hour doing the same thing. When you're on an in-lap and it's a safety car and you're in the race, you're pushing to get to the pits to get a pit stop done. So I think in that position, it's definitely it's something that they've brought in that's a very positive thing. Yep.
And James, obviously this has been a long time coming for Premier Racing. Is that the feeling for you guys? You've got this relationship with Triple Eight in terms of the cars as well. I guess, can you speak to the feeling, the emotion within the team right now?
Yeah, it's pretty high. Obviously, it means a lot to everyone in the team. Pete and Carmen, as Dave was saying before, they've put their heart and soul into this. And yeah, just to see the smile on their faces and everyone else that's been involved along the way, it's one of those things we knew we could do it, but there was times where we just thought maybe it won't happen. And yeah, it just comes down to everyone not giving up and pressing on with it. So can't thank Pete and Carmen for giving me the opportunity, obviously out of full-time driving for 2.5 years, which is pretty unheard of, and for them to give me a chance to get back in and now to be sitting here is pretty unreal.
First of all, congratulations to all 6 drivers. As someone said earlier, it's pretty much a 500k sprint race now, so well done to all you guys for finishing on the podium. Just to your point there, James, 5 years ago, GRM announced that they were going to be leaving the championship. There was a lot of uncertainty around your career, and obviously that opportunity came up not too long after to work your way back into the main game. Talk about your emotions now, finally finishing on the podium compared to how you felt 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's incredible. I also got to thank Gary Rogers for giving me the chance to begin with as a young tacker in Formula Ford and working there as a mechanic. Gary gave me the opportunity to start in Super 2 and then obviously into supercars. And yeah, it was pretty devastating when they pulled out of supercars and weren't going to continue racing. I did sit down and have a chat with Gary, and he offered just to run one car for the next year. And I said, unless we're going to make substantial changes within the team, and we really did need a second car if we were going to be competitive. So, yeah, we decided to, end it there in the supercar thing. I did keep driving for him in the Trans Am, in the S5000, which was good to keep doing laps and keep me sharp while I wasn't in the supercar. And yeah, obviously different path co-driving, trying to get back in that way. I was hoping to maybe pinch Frosty's seat, but that didn't work. And yeah, just keeping driving, and you never know what's around the corner. To get the opportunity to get back in full time was awesome. And yeah, the last 6 months, I knew I was getting close, and just had to push even harder the closer I got. And yeah, this is just the first step of hopefully a lot more.
I have to ask you as well, during that final part of the race, we saw the 2 Red Bulls duck into the pits. You were running third. Was there ever a point where you thought about staying out and trying to make the big gamble to the win with the tyre deg?
Yeah, I did know that, the cars pitting for fresh tyres were going to be pretty strong. There wasn't massive deg, but it was enough that, if most of the field was pitting, you're probably going to be a bit of a sit and duck, plus also the risk of people bombing you, ending up on the marbles and potentially in the fence. The team made the right decision there, so credit to them. And yeah, it's bloody awesome way to finish.
And to Jamie as well, you said before, it's been 21 years since this team made its debut at the Sandown 500. 9 wins now here at Sandown, 10 at Bathurst as well. I have to ask you, what's the key ingredient behind the team's success? Because, you've got success when it comes to all the races, but Enduros especially, 19 Enduro wins in the past 21 years. What do you put it down to?
It's good drivers, isn't it? Yeah. Good drivers. No, it's a combination. I'm not going to go through all the cliche things. It's a combination of many different elements all pulled together. That's a great thing about motorsport. You got to build a car. That's only half the job though, and you got to bring it to the track and try to race everybody else. And at the moment with Gen 3, most of the cars are very, very similar. So strategy, pit stops, the whole thing, that all played out today. That was all part of the race. We were sure Jimmy and Jack were going to stay out on that last safety car, so we rolled the dice. We thought we were going to come out, third and fourth with 10 lap better tyres, and who knows what the hell was going to happen. That would have been so. It was a big decision for us, but we pitted. But as it turned out, it was a free pit stop because everybody pitted. So great to see strategy come into it. It was a tough day, and thanks to Melbourne for making sure the bad weather was on the Saturday, not Sunday.
Tie things up. We'll send it over to Gabber. Finish this off here.
Okay. Jamie, probably you can talk about this, but also it's for Will and Brock. It's a pretty torrid day today. Lots of different things. Some stuff we haven't seen before. A lot of other stuff it was just a weird day, apart from you guys just rolling around at the front. What do we read into Bathurst based on what we've seen today?
What are you referring to? Just
is
action?
Today a good form guide? And how do you think the form guide will be affected by what we saw here today?
Oh, you never know. But this it's a serious competition. Everyone's going absolutely flat chat to try to get on the podium, and fortunately, there's only 3 spots. So no doubt we're all going to go to Bathurst, and it's going to be absolutely hectic for 6.5 hours. So there was a little bit of weather this weekend. Thankfully today was nice and dry, but who knows what's going to happen at Bathurst. We've had some crazy events up there, but the sport's good at the moment. The cars are great. They look good. They sound good. The racing's good. We're in a really, really good place. So looking forward to the next 3.
And in terms of the pace of your cars compared to everybody else?
Yeah. Our pace has been good. Like I don't think everyone's gone on about that we've had a lull, but I think it's just been a few unfortunate circumstances, especially at Tassie with what happened to Brock and all of that. He should have been on the podium twice down there. So I think we've got really good form heading into Bathurst. But the thing is, it's such a competitive season. Everyone's doing such a good job. You don't know. We go in there very confident, but people like Chaz, Cam, all these guys, they're all doing a fantastic job. You really can't go in there thinking, oh yeah, we're going to win it or anything like that. You got to prepare the best you can and turn up there and put on a good show. But yeah, who knows? It's Bathurst. You never know what'll happen.
Jimmy, can you beat him? Yes. Why?
Because I'm fast.
I think anyone can beat him. As the guys said, it's super competitive. A lot of teams are performing very well. We've seen how mixed it's been this year. Every round, you sort of got a bit of a lottery with who's going to be up the front, and some are up there more often than others. But it's definitely anyone's game at this point, I think.
All right. The big one's next up. Thank you very much, guys. Congratulations. Well done. We'll see you at Bathurst.